You know, if you want to transform society, you have to destroy the status quo of the society that is already there. Now, this cult has built this system that we live in, but it wants to move it to an even more extreme level, the Great Reset, with AI basically running everything. So the status quo, the system as it is, has to go. And what we're seeing with Netanyahu and with Trump is the dismantling of the current order to demolish it so it can be replaced by the Great Reset system of AI dystopia. And so what's happening in Iran is part of this dismantling, this upheaval. What Trump is doing with the tariffs, creating economic mayhem, is all part of it. The way he's setting precedents to use the military for domestic law enforcement, all part of this transformation towards this dystopia by dismantling the status quo that exists now.
And the destruction is real, as David outlined. Because the value of human life is at an all-time low. No one really cares about if you listen to these guys and the news and the reporters, the analysts, the quote-unquote intelligent people, they don't care about the suffering caused by war, the destruction that don't matter them. Just like Netanyahu. Man literally are sacrificing people them. Sacrificing people them in a cause. Which place I get bombed? Theme place I get bombed, Israel. And we know say protesters hot pan the meals. So him probably it's just a win-win situation for him, you know. Cause he might get rid of some people were probably against him. Destroy some place we're against him. Iran kinda get the same thing too. Cause we were say people that rise up against Iran. They want change. According to the media. Cause none of these things, none of these information out there, people with them have a circulate on the airway. We don't know if none of them real or we don't know what's what. We don't know if nothing. People we don't know nothing what going on right now in this thing. Really see what company report, to listen to what some other people say and listen to what other people they say and some other people can say some things and we believe it, we follow it, we say, okay, this is reality when this isn't even reality. But one thing for certain, it's controlled. It's controlled and it's a culture running things, as David say. It's a cult, people. I'm not going to hold any longer. This is the Aviatic show after all. So, yeah. It's crazy, people. Crazy time we're living in.
And welcome to the Dot Connector. Well, just before I sat down to record this, I saw this statement from Israel. Iran's attacks are a war crime. Israel's defense minister has called Iran's attacks a war crime and vowed to hold Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, Iran's supreme leader, accountable for his crimes. Israel Katz also said that he had instructed Israel's military to intensify attacks in order to undermine the Ayatollah's regime. The cowardly Iranian dictator sits in the depths of the fortified bunker and fires aimed shots at hospitals. There's been a hospital hit this morning as I speak, which is obviously a terrible thing. But here's Katz of Israel saying these are war crimes of the most serious kind. Okay, and Khomeini will be held accountable for his crimes. This is the guy with the Netanyahu regime who has been bombarding Gaza with bombs day after day and killed tens of thousands of civilians and kids. And it seems to me there is a necessity for these people and so-called leaders around the world to have cognitive dissonance. It seems to be something you must have, where you can not at any point see your own hypocrisy and how you're condemning what you're actually doing and worse. And so here we are in this situation now where Israel has been targeting Iran. Iran has been responding in kind. And Trump is apparently, if you believe the media, on the brink of possibly getting the United States openly and directly involved. And this will be more by the time you see this, but apparently the strikes on Iran have wounded 1,329 people and killed at least 639, and dozens have died in Israel. And the madness of the human race, or those directing it, goes on deeper and deeper into insanity. Now, what's happened in America is the MAGA base of Trump has become divided over this. You've got the zealots, oh yes, bomb Iran, and you've got the others who are saying, actually, we didn't vote for this. And so maybe, just maybe, that might encourage Trump to think a bit, because he's got to get through the next, 3.5 years or so, given the fact that he will lose enormous numbers of his base if he goes ahead with this. And the other thing, if he does join the war openly, because he's involved now in the background, is how will China and Russia respond to that? Because if they start coming in openly on the side of Iran, then, we'll see where that will lead. Let's hope that that doesn't happen, but we must be vigilant on the fact that it might. So the thing about grasping what's going on is to understand that these world leaders are not answerable or answering to their electorate, to their populations. They answer to what I call the global cult. Now, some will knowingly be doing that, and others will simply be reacting to events and situations that the cult has made happen. Either way, the cult is controlling what they do and how they respond. So Netanyahu is not answering to the Israeli people. He's not doing this for the benefit of Israelis. He's doing it on behalf of this global cult that operates through all these different countries. Borders are for public consumption only. And it has an agenda to push the world towards global dystopia. And his masters are in the shadows directing this. Now, over the Atlantic in America, Trump is the same. Trump is answering to masters, the same masters that Netanyahu is being controlled by. And it will be the same in all these different areas of the world, especially those that are at the forefront of dictating the direction of the world. And if we don't understand that they're not answering to the population, but to this cult, then we'll lose the plot about what's actually going on. When you've got people like the MAGA saying, why is Trump going against his base? Because he's not answerable to them. They were just the vehicle to get him elected. He answers to the shadow people. It's theater. And because he no longer has to win another election, there's even more reluctance or contempt, if you like, for his base, because in terms of elections, he don't need them anymore. And the plan has obviously been, and by the way, talking about this cult, you have people like the leader of Turkey, Erdogan, condemning Israel and telling his base supporters what they want to hear. That's what they do. Trump told the MAGA what they wanted to hear, and they got him in. And yet, Turkey is supporting in various ways what Israel is doing, not least through opening their airspace, but more than that. Because they answer to the cult. Erdogan answers to the cult, not the Turkish people, just as Netanyahu and Trump does. And clearly, the plan has been to target Iran. And Netanyahu has been desperately trying to bring that about for decades, which is why what he's saying now about Iran having a nuclear weapon shortly and oh my God, is what he's been saying word for word, basically, for decades. Here's the receipt.
The deadline for attaining this goal is getting extremely close. And Iran, by the way, is also outpacing Iraq in the development of ballistic missile systems that they hope will reach the eastern seaboard of the United States within 15 years. By next spring, at most, by next summer, at current enrichment rates, they will have finished the medium enrichment and move on to the final stage. From there, it's only a few months, possibly a few weeks, before they get enough enriched uranium for the first bomb. The foremost sponsor of global terrorism could be weeks away from having enough enriched uranium for an entire arsenal of nuclear weapons. That would place a militant Islamic terror regime weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months, less than a year.
Hey, cut Netanyahu some slaps, David. Cut him some slacks. People, don't really pressure this guy. He made a mistake. It's the other week. It's not 2 weeks. It's the other week after the 2 weeks. This guy, the gall of this guy. This brother time has expired. Netanyahu. Yahoo really outdated. Yahoo net that Yahoo net. This brother need to be put in a museum or something. Bro, your time has gone. And you're still a hold on to power. You're still a cause destruction all over. Push war. Create war. Push badness. Push bullyism. And your bully friend America. Just the same. As you realize, people, David, that video was done before Trump strike people. And yeah, so when I realize that, I just notify now. But what was instructive after the strike, people? When Trump come out, Trump said, thank God. First of all, he want to thank God. And so God really agree with this. God agree with this, okay. I mean, I'm listening. God agree with these people and God sanction this cause. He's doing nothing according to their position. God is okay with this. You just bomb a place. You don't know if nobody did it. That's not for the video. Thank God. Wow. It's crazy, people. Crazy world we live in. Crazy world. These are the guys who set the laws, make the rules, their governance, we live under, their conditions. And we can see people, we see that these people are psychopaths. They have no empathy, no love for human. Look how much people are dead in Gaza. Everybody turn them eye like it don't matter, nobody not see that. Kids are die, children, man, woman, everything, animal, life. And body quiet. Protect Israel. Let us Israel. Let us one country we get protection. Why is this? Why is this? Let us one country we get protection. Forever and ever, amen. Okay, I hear you. Okay, continue, David.
Why? How can anyone continue to take this guy seriously when he's been lying decade after decade after decade, trying to bring about what is happening now? How is he taken seriously within the system? Because the cult has got his back and he's serving the cult agenda. And, if you want to transform society, you have to destroy the status quo of the society that is already there. Now, this cult has built this system that we live in but it wants to move it to an even more extreme level, the Great Reset, with AI basically running everything. So the status quo, the system as it is, has to go. And what we're seeing with Netanyahu and with Trump is the dismantling of the current order to demolish it so it can be replaced by the Great Reset system of AI dystopia. And so what's happening in Iran is part of this dismantling, this upheaval. What Trump is doing with the tariffs, creating economic mayhem, is all part of it. The way he's setting precedents to use the military for domestic law enforcement, all part of this transformation towards this dystopia by dismantling the status quo that exists now. So they're working hard to sell the nightmare. And here's more lies from the psychopath Netanyahu, one after the other.
Chant death to America. Try to assassinate President Trump twice. Killed 241 of your Marines in Beirut. Killed and injured thousands of American soldiers in Afghanistan and Iraq. Try to bomb a restaurant in Washington, D.C. Chant death to America. Burn the American flag. Do you want these people to have nuclear weapons and the means to deliver them to your cities? Of course not.
Yeah.
So we're defending ourselves, but we're also defending the world.
I want to talk about the nuclear threat, and I want to talk about President Trump. You just said Iran tried to assassinate President Trump twice. Do you have intel that the assassination attempts on President Trump were directly from Iran?
Through proxies, yes. Through their intel, yes. They want to kill him. Look, he's enemy number one. He's a decisive leader. He never took the path that others took to try to bargain with him in a way that is weak, giving them basically a pathway to enrich uranium, which means a pathway to the bomb, padding it with billions and billions of dollars. He took up this fake agreement and basically tore it up. He killed Qasem Soleimani. He said, made it very clear, including now, you cannot have a nuclear weapon, which means you cannot enrich. He's been very forceful. So for them, he's enemy number one.
Yeah.
Look, they also tried to kill me, but I'm his junior partner.
When did
they understand that President Trump is a great threat to Iran's plans to weaponize nuclear weapons and use them. American pilots are shooting down drones that are headed towards Israel, as do our pilots. American THAAD missile batteries are helping defend Tel Aviv and greater Tel Aviv area. American Aegis ships are in the Mediterranean. That's all a decision by President Trump, which I deeply appreciate. Again, his decisions on what to do at any given time is the president's decision. I trust his judgment completely.
Come on, Netanyahu. Don't make it thing look so obvious. We know you're big kind of plea to the Americans and it minds them to watch Fox on a regular cause. Who can really sit down and watch Fox? Really? We could be honest, people. Eh? But, be real. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want chant death to that? Because Americans can just sit down in a freedom country and say, I'm going to bomb there, I'm going to send a drone here in Africa, in the Middle East, anywhere. Because these people don't matter. But they're not going to send a drone in Europe, in France, in certain places. Diplomacy will meet and talk about it, discuss this. But in certain parts of the world, send a drone, kill this, kill that, move that violently. And I saw on the treat people, so what you expect? What you expect from people? What you expect people are going to say? More life to you, more life to you, prosperity. Get out of here and be real, man. You're just obvious, people. These guys are just some distractors and some deceivers.
Netanyahu is Trump's junior partner. I bloody love it. They both lie for a living. It's what they do. And Trump will tell you whatever you want to hear so that you will respond in the way he wants. And once you've responded that way, and in this case, got him back in, well, he couldn't care less anymore about what you think. Because the deal, the job, is done. And here's a cracker. This is only last October when this American imam went onto a podium at a Trump rally and said, Muslims support Trump because he's going to bring peace, not war. I kid you not.
Good afternoon, Michiganders. As the president said, we just had a positive meeting with President Trump. We as Muslims stand with President Trump because he promises peace. He promises peace, not war. We are supporting Donald Trump because he promised to end war in the Middle East and Ukraine. The bloodshed has to stop all over the world, and I think this man can make that happen. I personally believe that God saved his life twice for a reason. I believe personally that God has saved his life for a reason, which is to save the lives of others.
What is staggering to me is how easily people, the MAGA media, fell for Trump when a modicum of research into his background, into his character, would have told you what he really is. And the MAGA media, hacks and sycophants, all cheering him and urging people to vote for him, to put him in office, to become what he is to this cult, like Netanyahu, a wrecking ball to bring down the status quo so another can take its place.